Abaya Williams today for a post show.
I'm doing
How
all
are you
right. How
doing,
about
Abaya?
yourself?
Great. So tonight we have you on for the GBK games, and let's start off by talking about how you did there, and what the tournament was like.
Okay, yes. The tournament was excellent for it being their first tournament, and it's on the up and it's rising. And I enjoyed everything that they had, how they had everything set up. The tournament ran pretty smooth. Of course, they used Juventex, so everything was running very well. Competitions was actually it was very good in 18 plus and 30 plus division. So I enjoyed being there. I enjoy helping out, enjoy helping judging, and also going forward with the competition was awesome.
And so you competed in both 18 plus and 30 plus. How did you do?
My 30 plus division, I won that and then had to fight for the overall grands, which was excellent. I got a chance uh, um, to do that, and I've been working with Ross Levine. So he's been having me doing some workouts and also rehabbing from my knee surgery and my ankle surgery. So just having that confidence to step back in the ring and fight again, I felt pretty good. And then I won that division and turned around. I said, "Hey, look, I want to fight 18 plus to try to get out there." And of course, you had Bailey Murphy that was there. You had the Green brothers, Malik Green and Matthew Brown. They was all there. So and Joseph Brackett. So I wanted to get out there and try my skill with them. So I made it to the grands, the grands rounds with all of them. And then I wind up, you could say, gassing out in the 18 plus division. But I felt my confidence back, felt real good with working with Master Ross Levine. So it was good.
What a confidence booster. I actually just recently did a story for work about two high schoolers who tore their ACL. One, had knee dislocation. And you always hear about knee surgery, and it's kind of become more of a commonplace in sports, but it's still a major thing that takes knee surgery, takes recovery from. What did your recovery process look like for you?
Basically regaining strength back in both of my legs because when I had my knee surgery, I was putting on my weight on one leg. So my other leg was not as strong and I was not as confident to especially to kick, to push off or do anything like that. And when I recovered from my knee surgery, I wound up having ankle surgery on the other leg. So it was a
Mm.
big process with that. And so when I got a chance to talk to Ross, he basically said, "We're going to start you with some strength and conditioning, get you some stability exercises so I can be confident enough to kick like how I used to and to push off and to blitz more and different stuff like that." So it was all, how can I say, a mental block for me. Like, okay, I can actually do this. Once I started working again and working hard with it again, I was basically like, yes, I'm building my confidence back up in my legs to kick and to push off.
Now you're a coach and an instructor yourself. Was it that the injury and Ross's background in physical therapy led you or initiated that coaching relationship with Ross, or did you already have that before?
No, actually, this is something brand new. So it helped me as well because even though like I said, I'm coaching. Having somebody to coach you is always that's that plus because sometimes even me, I would get stagnated and be like, oh, I don't feel like doing this and I don't feel like doing that. But he gave me that extra push. And what I like about his program, he checks in. He'll call on you to make sure you are doing the workouts and different stuff. So having him as that, performance coach is excellent for me.
Do you find that you bring the lessons that you learn with Ross and his workouts to your own students?
Yes. Matter of fact, one in particular, which is Zion, because we're getting ready to go to Wales in October. So I actually been, working out with him, and so some of the workouts we do, me and him, we'll do together. Because like I say, he's a junior on the rise, so I want him to have that top tier, workout, exercising, and all of this because it'll be his first time going overseas and competing in WKU. So I really want him to do well, so we kind of both collaborate and work together on some stuff.
So that's one of your students that I recently interviewed, and he is killing it in the junior division, considering he took a break. How did you approach that? I don't want to make this interview about him, but as an instructor, how do you approach people who want to take a break from martial arts and then get back into it?
Basically, when he came back and said that he wanted to do it again, basically you can take him through a trial run to see how hungry are you really for this. Like, are you going to make excuses? Or are you going to show up late to the dojo? Or are you going to be like, oh, I'm just going to get my workout and leave? But he legit showed me that, hey, look, I'm hungry for this. I want to do this. And then by him being a junior, he actually took on different jobs to save up money to go to tournaments to actually compete at the bigger tournaments and different stuff like that. So after he showed me how hungry he was for it, staying the extra hours at the dojo, coming in early at the dojo, and actually working hard, I was like, yes, let's take this to the next level. You really want it. You hungry for it.
That must be really fulfilling to see as a coach and energizing. What's the best part about being a martial arts instructor for you?
Basically for me is the positivity that I can instill into kids and the confidence that I can, install into kids and to teenager and adults. I'm always the type that I love to help people out. And especially like I tell everyone, martial arts is a way of life. Is more to it than just punching and kicking. It is actually a way of life. So giving life lessons to kids, teenagers, and adults is something that is very dear to my heart because I love to help anybody that I can out. If it's in my power to help, I'll go far and beyond for anybody to help them out.
Why don't you share with our viewers how you got into martial arts yourself?
Oh, I got into martial arts. Oh man, living in Alabama, a small city called Elba, Alabama. I know a lot of people have not heard about it, but my father was in kung fu for over 35 years. And so I always wanted to train kung fu, kung fu, kung fu. So my dad put me in Yoshikai karate. He said, before you can learn from me, you have to learn from somebody else because you would take me, can I say it for, hey, funny because I'm your father. I don't think you'll take it serious. So I wound up getting my third degree black belt in Yoshikai karate. And I just took it from there because back then we did not do point sparring. We was doing like Japanese knockout, semi-contact, and kumite fighting. And that's the background that I have. And so when I got introduced to sport karate around 2013, I should say around 2013, I was like, this is something that I really want to take a hold on. So I kind of like in 2013, I sat down with Master Tony Young, one of the greatest out of Atlanta, another student, Kevin Walker. I kind of gleaned to him and also Sergio Speedy Brandon. Like they got me on that track to like, hey, look, this is what you can do in point fighting and all of that. It wasn't easy because I was very stiff and like
Mhm.
this trying to fight. So they kind of helped me, get to the next level and different stuff like that. So I appreciate them a lot.
Now you're also a tournament promoter, and so you have a unique perspective when you go and compete at other places. It's in our nature when you have that background to critique or to notice good things. Now, what were some of the positives that came from this recent tournament for this post show?
Actually, it was just everybody coming together to work together to make the tournament actually run successful. That is one of the main things. If you have a great team with you and great supporters and friends in the martial arts to help come together, no matter what, if it's judging, going to go get trophies, going to go get, different things to help make the tournament run, being a scorekeeper or a timekeeper. That was one of the main things that I seen how everybody came together to help this tournament run successful. They actually, even because me doing my tournament, they always supported me, always been there. So everybody that support me, I try to go above and beyond to be there and to support them no matter what. So everybody coming together and helping the tournament run successful. That was one of the great things about the tournament.
And so this was the inaugural GBK martial arts games.
Mhm.
If you had any piece of advice to new tournament promoters, what would you say?
New tournament promoters always have your thinking cap on to have different ideas, especially like myself as a tournament promoter. I try to come up with different things for as like different medals. I give out championship rings and different stuff like that. So I would legit say always have different creative ideas to make the tournament better and make people want to come to the tournament. Uh, Keep your name clean. Make sure you're not associated with a lot of different stuff, because sometimes people get sketchy about a lot of stuff. So just make sure you keep your name clean and everything will run fine.
So something that you mentioned was, you said, of course, there is Juventix. That's a relatively, in the past, say 5-6 years, development that most national tournaments had, but not necessarily the local or regional ones. It's now
Mhm.
commonplace. Is there anything else you see in the technology martial arts space? This is sort of a difficult question, but I was just, is there anything you see that could, opportunities out there?
Oh man, now one of the crazy ideas that I have is if we somehow in sport karate come up with instant replay.
I don't know why I knew you were going to say, because you said somehow, and I was like, instant replay. But yeah.
Yes, if you know how they do in football, where they'll throw a challenge flag and they'll go back and
Mhm.
review the play, and they can overturn a call or overturn this. If somehow, if we could do that, and if the call is wrong, the competitor get a point taken away from them.
So
If we do it like
I'm
that.
gonna challenge you for 1 second. So I know
Okay.
that Olympic Taekwondo has the ability at certain tournaments to do replay, and you can only get so many, right? You only get
Yeah.
2 challenges, and you get them taken away if they're not
Mhm.
deemed correct. Do you
Yeah.
think that would change the pacing of the speed that sport karate brings and the entertainment? Or is
Yeah.
there value in getting the call correct and settled?
It would change the speed, because if it's a person that's on go and fast and always coming out the line quick, it would literally break their timing off if a coach called a challenge flag. It's just about, like, to me, I say we can have the instant replay instead of throwing the glove off saying I'm hurt.
Mm,
All
okay.
right, because it's gonna take 5 to 10 minutes for that. Why they can we just add the instant replay just to see if the point was there, or did somebody kick low, or somebody kick wrong, or different stuff like that. To me, it will change the speed of the game, but then it would turn around, it would take more time at the tournament, because you'll have everybody trying to throw a challenge over everything. So the tournament will run longer if you do that.
Okay. So you'd have to implement it in a way that didn't make it drag on, but still, maybe only for night shows or things like that.
Yes, yes. and
Okay. Well,
and
I
I
hope whoever's in the tech sphere collaborates with you and figures out how to implement that.
Yes, because I love the way Alex Reyes does it when he go back and he posted. He was
Yeah.
like, "You be the judge," because
Yes. Yeah.
nowadays, like I said, the fighters now are getting so fast that it's hard to kind of see this, and it's hard to kind of see that. So it's kind of hard to like see and judge different things. So that will change the game up a lot.
And even when Alex posts those, you be the judge, I have to watch it like 5 or 6 times.
Yes,
And you got to look back. And even then, you have comments that are totally different.
yes, yes, yes. You will. Yes. So I
So,
like when you do that. Yeah.
yeah, it's always fun. So, now my last question is, you mentioned that things are getting so much faster, the athletes are getting quicker, and it's leveling up the game. How are
Mhm.
you, in all the hats that you carry and put on, how are you keeping up with it?
Basically now myself and a couple of my other students, we sit down and we watch film. We will do film study on different fighters and different competitors and different stuff like that. And so I try to keep myself up to date, on watching, because now everybody comes up with different drills and different stuff like that. So I kind of try to implement things that I know that will actually work for me in my fighting. So those are some of the things that we do. A lot of film study. You have to study film. So that's one of the things that I do.
Okay. All right. And most of the athletes that I speak to that are at the highest levels
Mhm.
watch film religiously. It's
Yes.
the athletes that have success here and there, but aren't, at the top, the people to beat. Those are the
Yeah.
ones that are like, sometimes I go back and watch my film, but not
Mhm.
all the
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, this has been a great chat with you. Talking about the GBK post show and also you as a martial artist. So I appreciate you coming on to the Power Chat series.
Thank you. Thank you.
And for everybody watching, thanks for tuning in. And I hope you enjoyed the show and you catch the next one.